Welcome to the channel. To this 1750 point battle. It is Genestealer Cults versus Space Marines. It's a very special day on the channel because today we're in Aceface's studio. That's Aceface YouTube channel. I'll point the camera at him in a second. You guys can get to say hi, and also for the first time on the channel we are facing the Genestealer Cult. That's right, a Genestealer insurrection has swept across this cityscape. The Genestealers are dug in. There's very few of them on the board at this time. The rest of them are hiding in reserve, ready to return from the shadows. There is a lot more of them, I can assure you. We'll have a look at the armies in a second, but the 13th are here, my Space Marine chapter. We are descending on comets of fire from orbit down into this city to burn these Genestealers away. The Patriarch is dug in this building here along with 20 of his Gribblies, and there are 6 ejectors spread across the table. We're playing Cleanse and Control, which is rather fitting for a Genestealer Cult insurrection. That's the one where you get 3 cards a turn every turn, and after placing the first couple of objectives down, I was reminded that Genestealers have very bad armor, so I stuck this one right in the open and that one over there quite in the open, because hopefully they wouldn't be able to get many saves from the guns when I shoot at them. There's also one in there, and the central administratum building is turning out to be quite tactically astute as well. The Patriarch is dug in on this objective here. Is this one your Warlord?
No.
That's not a Patriarch. Primus.
Yes.
Damn it, so many names. Yeah, this is the guy that when he returns from the shadow comes back. You roll 3 times coming back from the shadows instead of twice. We'll get to that in the game. Basically, Genestealers can disappear away and then come back again. And when they come back, if they roll a 6 when they come back, they can assault. It's nasty. My only other experience with Genestealer Cult is watching mini wargaming and watching the Genestealer Cults on that channel, so this is going to be a bit of a new experience for me. I brought drop pods along because why not, and I have given the Genestealer Cult first turn, so everything I've got is in orbit, everything I've got is plummeting down, and the Cult will get to go first. Let's go and have a look at these armies. This is 1750 points worth of Space Marines using Iron Hands Chapter Tactics. It's a single combined arms detachment. Brother Captain Solgaro is leading the charge with his Relic Blade, Artificer Armour and Storm Shield, and rocking with him will be a Tech Marine with full servo harness. I'm going to stick him in a command squad. There's an Apothecary there, so with Iron Hands Chapter Tactics that'll give him a 4-up Feel No Pain, and stick that in a Storm Raven. And there's also Brother Matthias is coming with his twin-linked autocannon and heavy flamer. So that's quite a lot of goodness coming outside of that Storm Raven there. There's another Dreadnought to keep him company. That's an Ironclad, and there's a heavy flamer on that one as well. 2 Storm Talons, and then lots and lots of troops. So I've got 40 troops. 2 units of 10 Tactical Marines with a flamer in each. Another unit of 10 Tactical Marines. There's a Melter, Combi Melter, and Brother Corland there. The Imperial Marine, just in case I come across any armour. Cheese. And then I brought some scouts here, and the Veteran Sergeant's got a Power Sword. Lots of objective secured units here, lots of mobility breaking off right and left and all over the place. And honestly, having never gone up against Genestealer Cult before, this list, for me, it all came down to fluff. I like the idea of the 13th dropping down into a Genestealer Cult infestation and doing what they can to cleanse it. That was the top, middle and end of my list thoughts there. Just go with the narrative. Alright guys, this is 1750 points worth of Genestealer Cult. What is this? Is this a single combined arms detachment?
No, this is detachment. So this is the insurrection detachment. So everything you see here comes under the insurrection detachment.
So it's not a CAD?
So it's definitely not a cat. It's not a cat.
So what's in it? What is it?
Okay.
What am I looking at?
You're looking at loads and loads of Genestealer Cult. Well, basically, it consists of the main body of it.
Where's the main?
Is a brood cycle, and I'll go through what's in the brood cycle.
Okay.
So the brood cycle consists of the banner, which is the onward acolyte.
Yes.
And what he does is he gives a nice little feel no pain bubble around him of 12. Which keeps everything hopefully alive. They're only low toughness, so they generally doesn't make too much difference, but it's helpful.
Okay.
So you've got him. Then it has 2 rock grinders. Both of the rock grinders have seismic cannons, because they're the ones I prefer to go with. No other upgrades, but they have heavy stub as a standard, which is tasty. It has a single metamorph unit, which is this one at the front here. It has 2 claws in there, a couple of whips, and the rest are all talons, as well as it has the icon for the +1 weapon skill as well. So pretty tasty there. And then we have the compulsory 5-man unit of pure strain Genestealers. Again, bare bones, basic.
This is all still part of the same
all part
formation.
of the same formation within a formation within a formation within a formation within something like that.
Okay.
And then it has 3 units of bare basic acolytes, which are the ones at the back.
Right.
5-men units. No flamers, no special weapons, no nothing. They're just as they are.
Right.
And then the last bit that makes up the brood circle is 2 units of neophytes. They are 10 men, well, they're 12 men units, so 10 normal guys, and then 2 special weapons in each unit. So in the unit over here, we have 2 seismic cannons.
Right.
And then the other unit, we have 2 mining lasers. And that makes up the brood cycle. So then the bolt-on formations...
What are these guys then?
We're getting there, we're getting
all right,
there. Look,
okay,
just
all
jumping
right.
the gun, Winters.
Sorry.
So then the bolt-on, so the command
Yes.
for the insurrection detachment
Is that these guys?
we're getting to those guys now.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have the command formation, which is the first curse, which consists of the patriarch, which is the big scary guy,
Yes.
and he has a unit of 20 pure strain Genestealers that he joins.
Yes.
And they're a bit like the old Youngard Genestealers, apart from you do 1 roll at the beginning of the game and they will gain certain benefits, so either +1 strength, that type of thing we'll go through when we get a little bit further in. But that's that unit. It can be very beefy, it's a bit of a point sink, but it can be a lot of fun. There's not very much that can stand up to an assault from it, but obviously it has to get there. Then we have the auxiliary formation. Oh, actually, before we get there, we actually have one more command formation, which is the Magus on his own. So he is a Lord of Cult, which is what the formation's called, and it just consists of 1 HQ, basically. So he is the Magus. He is a Mastery level 2, and he has the Relic, which is the Crouchling, which basically gives him an additional psychic power, but it doesn't increase his Mastery level. So he's quite tasty. Then we have the auxiliary formation of the Subterranean Uprising. Now the Subterranean Uprising is really, really good because it allows you to roll 3 dice for the unit with the Primus in to find out how it turns up on the board, and then 2 dice for every other unit. So we have the Primus, which is the guy, the last HQ that we've not spoken about, the guy with the sword. So he heads up that formation, and he has his standard loadout of a bone sword and a needle pistol.
And it's these guys.
So a lot of it is this guy. So the next we have a unit of Aberranth that are in it, and that consists of 2 picks, 2 hammers. They're not really very good, but I quite like them and they're funny. And if they hit really, really hard. And then we have 4 units of Acolytes, which are these guys here. So each unit of the Acolytes, each each unit, let's say, has 1 flamer in each.
That's easy for you to say.
Yes, clearly. So 1 flamer in each, and then it has 1 special weapon in each.
Okay.
So we've got the rock cutters, we've got the rock grinders.
So we've got lots of dudes, and the return to the shadows, that's a thing, right? Where you disappear, then you come back with more dudes.
Absolutely. So the last thing, before we get too involved in things, the last thing is we've got 1 other unit of metamorphs, which makes up part of that auxiliary detachment, auxiliary formation, which is another unit of metamorphs. And again, we've got a claw in there, we've got some whips, and we've got a banner for the extra +1 weapon skill.
Okay.
So what the detachment in itself does is it does allow everything to infiltrate, which is really, really handy. So everything can infiltrate, unless it's a vehicle. So vehicles can never infiltrate. But everything else can infiltrate. Anything that could already infiltrate, such like the Steelers and a few of the other bits, so like all of the auxiliary formation of the subterranean uprising automatically infiltrate. So anything that can already infiltrate gets shrouded first turn. So an extra little buff there as well to make it pretty good. On top of that, the bonus that this formation gets is every time I return to the shadows, so every time that I'm outside of 6 inches at the beginning of my turn, I can choose to remove all of the models from that unit and they can go back into ongoing reserve. But in this formation, they also they get an extra reinforcement. So it's either, I can never remember, D3 or D6, we'll check it when it gets to it, but you gain that amount of additional troops back to your initial number when they go back into the shadows. So that makes a big difference as well. And then it has its standard benefit of being able to roll twice on the warlord traits. And that's it in a nutshell. But lots of little guys, hit very hard, fall apart very easy.
If my eyes are glazing over, that's because my eyes are glazing over. Okay, so lots of infiltration all over the place. You have the opportunity to disappear and reappear, flashing in and out of the shadows. That narrative part of it, I've got it. Loads of little guys, hit like a brick, but it's a glass cannon.
Absolutely.
Because they're all toughness 3.
Mostly toughness 3.
With a 5-up save.
5-up save.
So, yeah, a strong wind.
Absolutely.
And they'll fall over. So this should be very, very interesting. Thanks for that. Do you know these rules well?
I'll go with yes.
Okay.
I've played.
You heard it here first, Internet. Aceface said yes. Please call him out on every single rule he gets wrong. Thank you very much. And here we come back to the table after deployment, which is the same table that I showed you before we went and had a look at the armies. As I mentioned, all of my units are in reserve. 2 of the drop pods will be coming in turn 1. I've got a -1 to my reserve modifier, is that right?
You have?
I have. But Solgar's Warlord trait was Tactical Genius. He can get to re-roll his reserve rolls, which is going to be kind of handy. So I'm giving up first turn. No doubt a bunch of these units are going to return to the shadows, and I don't know if that's tactically astute of me. Basically, my forces won't come on the table until the second half of turn 2, and Aceface could be roaring into the lead by then. So this is a bit of a gamble, but yeah, let's do it. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it happens. Let's see if it works out. Let's see. I'm nervous. Let's move on to Genestealer Cults, turn 1. Aceface, does your cult have a name?
It does. Hive Fleet Voro is where it came from, so this is the Cult of Voro, which is Latin for the Devourer.
Nice, man. The Cult of Voro's objectives in turn 1 take objective 1, 2 and 3. There's 1, there's 2, and 3 is over there. Okay, as there are no Space Marines on the table, we went to the very end of the Cult of Voro's turn 1. There was a unit over there and a unit over here that have buggered off back to the shadows. And then the Rock Grinder that was here zipped up, flattened out, and scored this objective. And the Genestealers in the backfield have stolen that objective there, making it 2 points to the Cult of Voro. But this unit over here couldn't run around far enough to take objective 2, so only 2 points to the cultists. The summoning dude, Aceface has got summoning on his patriarch, something. Magus has got summoning. He's not on the table at the moment, so no summoning. But as we look around, there's cultists here, all over the place, ready to spring a trap, or so it would seem. Anyway, let's go on to Space Marines, turn 1. The orders for the 13th are somewhat confused. Domination, score every objective, can't happen. Honour the chapter, kill something in a challenge, isn't going to happen, can't assault in turn 1. And score objective 6, which is up here, is going to be very, very tough. And here we are at the end of the movement phase for the 13th, and I took a very, very long time, as only 2 drop pods were coming in, and there's objective 6 over there. That was an extraordinary amount of time. That was a long time, wasn't it?
Scared.
That was, I'm scared. I don't know where Hive, the cultists are going to pop up. So one pod in here, objective securing that objective there, and I'm going for first blood. Going to try and get that rock grinder. There's a melter, combi melter in that squad. Hopefully that's first blood. Otherwise these guys can turn around and shoot at only armor 10 in the side. But I'd rather put firepower into this unit. And then the ironclad on this side of the wall, going to try and heavy flame this unit. Now there are some claws in there. There are some strength 6 rending weapons in there, but hopefully, heavy flamer, wounding on a 2, hopefully I do enough damage to burn them back. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Talking about a barbecue, the flamer here can hit 6 of them. So strength 5 versus toughness 3, looking for 2s to wound. Please don't roll any 1s, Winters. Okay, so that's 5 of them crispy fried. And that's the result of that shooting attack there. I also fired the melter in, but these guys are shrouded in turn 1, 2-up save, and they managed to slink around in the shadows and avoid it. Now over here, going for first blood, firing the melter, combi melter at the side of the rock grinder, hitting on 3s. That's only 1 hit. It's a melter. Strength 8 versus side armor 10. That's a pen. Are these open top?
No.
They're not open top, so this is AP1. I need a 5. And that's a 3. So that is just weapon destroyed. And 1 hull point down. Let's do the rapid firing gun before we find out what weapon was destroyed. So this is 3s to hit. This is Brother Corlin. Strength 5, AP2. That's another hull point down. So 2 hull points down. And finally chuck a grenade, hitting on a 3. No! So the combi melter, the melter fired, Brother Corlin fired, and I threw a grenade. So now I only have a bolt gun left. And there's 1 hull point left, hitting on 3s. I need a 6. That's not first blood. The heavy stubble was wiped out by that. 1 hull point left. Now I really want to fire these guys at this squad down here. So it's side armor 10. I've got storm bolters in these drop pods. Let's fire them at the side of the truck first. First this one at the side of the truck, hitting on 3s. Still looking for first blood. Trying to get a 6. No. And the second one hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits. Trying to get a 6. Just 1 6. 1 6. 1 6. No. No. Okay. So that squad has to fire at that rock grinder. Damn it. Ace has just said if he survives this, he's going to laugh so much and then turn around and run me over with that rock grinder, which will sting a bit. So first, let's chuck a grenade at it. I hit on a 3. Strength 6. Side armor. No. Stop laughing. Right. 8 bolter shots. Well, 4 bolters, but they're rapid firing, so hitting on 3s. See, there's a couple of 6s.
They're all gone. You run them out.
Now I need some 6s. Just 1 6.
Oh, okay.
That's 1 6. First blood, finally. Oh, my bum is squeaking. Okay, so it's the end of turn 1 for the 13th. I certainly didn't get objective 6, issue any challenges or dominate, but I did. I finally managed to take down 1 rock grinder, which means it's 3 points to the Genestealer Cult and 1 point to the 13th. Sorry, that's 2 points to the Cult and 1 point to me. The only good news for me really is this ironclad is just within 6 inches of these guys. They passed their leadership test, but it does mean they can't return to the shadows just yet. They're going to have to move away. Anyway, there's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of cultists suddenly popping up all over the place. Let's go on to the Cult's turn 2. The Cult's objectives in turn 2 are to take objective 2 twice, which I'm objective securing, and hold the line, have 3 units in their deployment zone and none of my units in their deployment zone, and the ironclad is in their deployment zone as well. Interesting times. Here we are at the end of the deployment phase for turn 2 Cult, and I've got off kind of lightly because when these units pop up, they can shoot, they can assault, they can do all sorts of things depending on whether you get the right dice rolls. And this unit didn't roll a 5 or 6, so they're not shooting or not assaulting. These guys didn't get a 5 or 6, so they're not shooting or assaulting, and in the turn they appear. We've got a squad under here, a squad under there, and a squad over there outflanking on the side. Essentially, if you roll a 6 for Genestealer Cults, then you can deploy and assault in that turn. That hasn't happened yet. However, 5 more squads have suddenly appeared on the table, spreading out all around us, and the pure strain Genestealers up here. So now we're going on to the movement and psychic phase for the Genestealer Cult. It's like a whole different way of playing 40k. In the movement phase and psychic phase, there was a lot of dice rolling and not a lot happened. These guys not very far. There's a Magos. Is it a Magos?
Magos, yeah.
Magos around there. Summoned some dudes, and they came on here. Apparently they do the return from the shadows thing as well. So potentially they could have assaulted after they got summoned. Is that right?
Yeah.
Nasty. So if he had rolled a 6 for them after summoning them, they could have come charging in and hit some of my guys, but instead they just walked on from the board edge. This rock grinder busting through terrain coming this way. There was a unit behind the rock grinder that's gone back into the shadows again. Like I said, a lot of not a lot. These guys moving through, and not a lot there either. Ace is just shaking his head a lot. That could have been nasty, apparently. So far, I don't know what all the fuss about Genestealer Cults is about. Let's move on to the shooting phase. Right, in the shooting phase, we had some snap-firing mining lasers.
Yes.
That didn't do anything. Now we've got a seismic cannon.
Yes.
Which is firing across at this unit here, hitting on, I don't know.
Hitting on 4s.
4s. That's pretty good shooting.
And that is AP1.
Is it?
Yeah.
And it's strength
5.
Strength 5.
Okay. So needing 3s. So that's 2 so far, and then again needing 3 still. But that's 1 dead or cover save if you've got it, and then 2 normal saves.
From there to these guys.
Yes.
I think he's getting cover.
I believe so.
So let's give him a 5 up cover save and a 6 up for no pain because of Iron Hands. Nope, so he's dead, and then 2 more armor saves. That's 1 and a 6 up for no pain. 2 die from that seismic cannon.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Heavy stubber also firing in. Hits on
4s.
4s. Your shooting is pretty good. Wounding on
4s. 1 more wound.
3 up save. And I'm okay. So yeah, just 3 died from that assault there. Or 3 are left, sorry, just 2 died. Is that the end of the shooting phase?
That's the end of the shooting phase.
Okay, so leadership test on them, and they fail, and they're going to fall back 11 inches. Right, that's the end of the shooting phase. They ended up there. Now these guys are going to charge round into the pod. There's a rock grinder there, which is going to try and grind the pod. Plus he really wants to get objective 2. And then around here, these guys fancy themselves against the ironclad because there's rending claws.
There are rending claws in there.
Rending claws in there. Yeah. So I'm going to wall of flame you first.
Let's have a 1, please.
That's just 1, and it wounds on a 2. And it doesn't wound.
Thank you, you're so kind.
Snapfire multi-melter. Damn it!
Yeah.
Go on then, charge. Do you have move through cover or fleet or anything?
No.
No.
But they do have good assault grenades. But
do they?
They have assault grenades. They do.
Yeah, that's 9. You're going to be in. What initiative?
Initiative 4.
Initiative 4.
We've got a whip in here, so he's initiative 7.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Is this the time where I'm going to be afraid now?
No.
So the whip goes at initiative 7. He's got a whip and a what?
They're all got rending claws, so
yes.
they all get rending claws,
Yes.
and everything else is just standard rending claws. He's got a whip. He's got a lash whip.
So he goes at initiative 7.
He goes at 7. The rest go at 4.
With how many attacks?
So they got 4 attacks on the charge each.
Do you want to do this now?
Let's do this now.
Let's do this now.
So we start off with him then.
What's his weapon skill?
Because of the banner, they are weapon skill 5.
Are they?
They are weapon skill 5 +1 for the icon.
So he's in on 3s.
Hit on 3s. So you get 3.
Yeah.
And then we need 6s. Is that right? We're going with 6s.
Rending, yeah.
Yeah, rending claws.
Well, I don't know what his strength is.
Strength 4.
Okay, 6s. There's
So that's
1 6. So that gets you up to strength 10.
Okay.
And then D3.
So 3 or 4 we're looking for then, yeah? For a glance.
5 or 6. It's an ironclad.
Of course it is.
No. That bounced. Yes. Still alive.
And then we hit in the same time. Shall I do my carry on my one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 So the other remaining guys.
Okay.
And so...
Are they weapon skill 5 as well?
Everything in the unit's weapon skill 5 because of the icon.
Okay.
Okay, that's quite tasty.
And my heart broke a little
And
bit.
then we need 6s, so...
Okay. But these have all got rending claws.
They've all got rending claws.
So there's
Every
2
acolyte
6s
has.
there, which gets them up to strength 10, front armour 13, so you need 5s and 6s on a D3 to glance it. Nothing. Nothing! It didn't work! It didn't work!
It didn't work.
Okay, so Ironclads get to fight back. Ironclads have 4 attacks, plus 1 for their loadout. I got 5 attacks, dude.
You do.
And I hit on 4s. And I managed to hit you 3 times.
That's all you need.
And I'm strength 10 AP 1, because it's an Ironclad. There's 2 there. And 1 survives. Leadership? Do you have leadership? Are they fearless? Do you have leadership on Genestealer
8,
Cults?
so -2.
Okay.
So I need 6.
So they fear me.
They fear you. But no, they don't.
No, they don't fear me.
One
so
survives.
1 survived. Can he go back to the shadows when he's locked in combat?
No.
He can't.
Cool.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. And this is the end of that combat there. Now I'm locked up with him, so I can't charge round in my turn and flame them. And then over here, this squad charge round. They're in combat. Before he does the rock grinder, we're trying to smack him with all the rending claws. They're all auto hitting, so this is the armour pen.
Yeah, looking for those magical wrens.
So those little round ones there are 6s. And these are strength 4, normal.
Strength 4, yeah.
What are they? Acolytes? Everyone?
Acolytes.
Acolytes. Yeah, so a 3 up.
Just the 1.
Yeah, so that's a armour 11. That's a pen. It is open topped. If you roll a 6, it blows up and could potentially hurt your guys. Let's work out the explodes result. And with the explodes results, one of the cultists was wiped out. One of the Space Marines was also wiped out by the explosion. But that guaranteed Cult Voro's objective there. That's 2 points because he had score objective 2 twice. And now I've got some Marines running away. I've got my Ironclad dropped up and locked up. And I've only got 1 point to Aceface's 4 points. 4 points?
4 points, yeah.
4 points. So now I desperately need some reserves to come on. Let's move on to Space Marines. Turn 2. Here are the orders for the 13th. It's tough again. I got rid of Domination. I've got Secure Objective 6. Yeah, that's highly unlikely. Honor My Chapter, issue challenges, which is tough. And Witch Hunter, kill a Psyker. Now the Magos is a Psyker here. There's the Patriarch over in that corner there. All I know is sniping them out of the units where they auto pass lookout sirs, which is a Genestealer Cult thing. Apparently, sounds like Eldar to me, but it's Genestealer. So getting that is going to be really tough. Issuing challenges and killing something in a challenge where you can also lookout sir in a challenge.
Yeah, automatically passes.
Which sounds very Eldar to me. It's just, dear. Anyway, let's see if some reserves come on. Yeah. Here we are at the end of the movement phase for the Space Marines in turn 2. One of the Talons and one of the pods is staying off. Both of the scouts infiltrating over this way. For Genestealer Cult, to stop them returning to the shadows and without number. Say I killed a bunch of these guys and there was 1 left and he was able to get back to the shadows. Then you can roll a d6 and replenish that unit when they come back. So if you kill them, you must kill a unit entirely. So both of these scouts are aiming at them. Plus half of this combat squad here are aiming at them. I need to kill them utterly. Don't want them coming back at full strength. The other part of the combat squad is strung all the way along there. We agreed at the start of the game that objectives were unlimited height and depth. Imagine a big column for that objective there. So that guy at the bottom is within 3 inches horizontally, just as this Genestealer back here is within 3 inches of that objective there. So I am stealing objective 6 from him with my objective secure unit, and that's about the only thing I'll be able to do this turn. I don't think I'm going to be killing a witch or any of the other shenanigans. The Talon is going to lay firepower into this, and then units assaulting, trying to clear them, try to clear them on this side of the table. The Ironclad locked up. Again, need to kill them utterly. Don't want them returning to the shadows, coming back rearmed and refueled with more dudes ready to go. Right, in the shooting phase, wiped out that squad. All of this firepower shooting in there, finally killed it. These guys fired into this rock grinder, didn't do anything. And now I'm going to fire the Storm Raven down at this squad here. I'm going to fire 3 missiles plus the multi-melter. and then with Power of the Machine Spirit, the Assault Cannon. So 3 missiles hit on 3s. Ha! And this is Strength 8, and doesn't wound at all. And then the Multi-Melter misses, Twin Linked, hits, wounds on a 2. That's a wound. A wound. 1 wound.
So 4 up.
Yes. And you saved. Okay, so let's fire the Assault Cannon at you. 3s to hit. This is Strength 6 Rending. That's 4 wounds. No rends, but your 4 up ruin save. And you walk through fire. Damn it, no. Right, that was a very unsuccessful shooting phase. The Storm Raven pilot clearly distracted as he flew across this battle grid. So now I'm going to rapid fire at these hybrids, acolytes there. These ones.
Yeah.
They're acolytes.
They are
okay,
acolytes.
Hitting on 3s, and my brilliant shooting continues. But I'm winning on 3s, right? Strength 4, toughness 3.
You are.
And that is 1 wound.
1 dead.
1 wound with rapid firing guns, so I can't assault you. This is really, really bad. Need to fire the drop pod at them, because I can't have them assault me. They're rending. Fire the drop pod, hitting on 3s. 1 hit, wounding on a 3. That's a wound. That's another one. Bites the dust.
And that is the rock.
That's the rock grinder. Phew. Okay. So they're definitely going to assault them. Do I fire the Storm Talon down at that big squad there, or over here? I think I have to. I lined that up so I had the 45-degree fire arc to fire down it. I think I have to fire at them and kill them utterly. So I'm going to fire the Storm Talon at them and hopefully wipe them out in assault. That's the plan anyway. So let's fire 3 Skyhammers, hitting on 2s with strafing run, and this is Strength 7 AP4, so wounding on 2s. And that's the last 2 dead, because we said the rocky
I'm
things were...
going to go to ground for a 6 up.
6s.
No.
So you can still return to the shadows even when you've gone to ground. That's... okay, I killed that squad. That makes me happy. I've killed 2 squads now. So now these guys... I'm not going to pistol you, because I might fail the assault. That's the end of my shooting phase. No more guns to bear now. So now I need to resolve some assaults. The Ironclad over here, that should be a foregone conclusion. And these guys are going to charge in there. We'll do the charges and overwatches and everything off camera, and then do the assault phase. Alright, in the assault phase, the Ironclad made short work of that guy. No hull points taken off him at all. And here we are, all snugly after the charge. No wounds caused during the overwatch. All of the Genestealer thingy-bobs, what are they?
They are neophytes.
Neophytes can assault except 2. So I'm going to let you swing first because they are initiative 4, strangely enough. Hitting on
4s.
Weapon skill.
Weapon skill 3.
Okay, so hitting on 4s.
That's a strong effort so far. And now need 5s.
So they're strength 3.
Strength 3.
So
Nothing.
no wounds. You know, I thought that'd be scarier. Okay, so I'm going to hit back. I've got 6 attacks on the charge. Weapon skill 4 versus 3, right?
Yep.
So I hit on 3s. Yeah. And then it's strength 4 versus toughness 3.
Yep.
So wound on 3s. 3 wounds.
And 5 ups. So 2 die.
2 die. Are they fearless? Anything
not
like
fearless,
that? No.
nope.
So I could potentially maybe sweep you. Maybe. I don't know. What's your
So
leadership?
leadership 8s.
Leadership 8. Okay. And you pass. No, leadership 8. You lost 2, right?
So
So you're
fail.
down. That's a fail.
That's a fail. Yep.
So it's initiative roll off. Mine is 4 plus 3 is 7.
Plus 2, so you catch me.
Do I?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're dead.
And they're dead. That makes... I feel so much better about myself now.
We'll get you now.
See, I don't really know what's going on. Right, that's the end of that assault phase. Those guys consolidated up there. Aceface tells me they're a tax unit. They're not something you would typically choose to take if you ran a Genestealer Cult army. So at least I killed a unit there. Killed this unit down here, killed this unit down here. This is stuff that won't be coming back, but potentially you can summon. So I feel like I am making some inroads. I have scored objective 6 this turn. I am about to get assaulted by lots of nasty Grivlies, but it's 4 points to 2, strangely enough. 4 points to 2, and the Space Marines have not been entirely wiped out yet. Aceface, how am I doing?
It's a bit hard to tell. My rolls for the cult ambush have been really, really poor. But I got really lucky with getting that objective 2, so it's not a bad start for me points wise. I need a few hot rolls on the cult ambush, and then it could get brutal real quick. But I don't like these flyers; they scare me massively.
There's a jacket behind you with strawberries all over it. Is that your jacket?
That's my jacket.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's a lovely jacket.
It's good.
All the strawberries
like
all over it. Yeah. Okay, so basically if you roll a bunch of 6s on the cult ambush table, you could be jumping out all over the place and slaughtering me now.
Absolutely, we're going with that.
Okay, let's move on to Genestealer Cult turn 3. Right, these are the objectives for the cult. Harness the warp should be fairly straightforward, and if he does 3 magical powers, that's D3 points. So potential to spring into the lead here.
Ooh,
secure objective 6.
Powers.
Magical powers! Objective 6. I am objective securing, but Aceface reliably informs me that he's going to punch me in the face and take objective 6 from me, so we should see that happening. And then hold the line. Again, needs 3 units back in his deployment zone, and not the ironclad. So maybe hold the line will be a bit more tricky. But let's go on to the, normally it'd be movement phase, but deployment phase, and see where these buggers spring up. Right, in the deployment phase, 3 more units return from the shadows. This unit here walking in, and these 2 units over here which just infiltrated, normally no 5s or 6s rolled. Remember, on a 5 they can shoot on the turn they deploy, on a 6 they can assault on the turn they deploy, but just 3 units popping up all around me for now. Then in the movement phase, the Magos and the Acolytes moving towards the Ironclad, as did the Aberrants. We have this unit moving around. The Rock Grinder tried to tank shop and destroy these guys. Apparently it can do something nasty, but I passed everything and it just shot by. Other unit of Aberrants, one's jumped down, they're going to assault these guys, backed up by the Pure Strain Genestealers. And inside this building, there were 2 units of Acolytes, I want to say.
Yep.
And they have both returned to the shadows. So that's the movement phase done. Then in the psychic phase, the Cult of Voro tried to cast as many spells as they could to get Harness the Warp, to get maximum points, maximum orders, and only managed to get 1 off. I blocked the others. But that will be a guaranteed point at the end of the turn. Now let's move on to the shooting phase. So in the shooting phase, these neophytes,
Yes.
I got it right, are firing into these guys up here with auto guns. This is 20 shots, you tell me. This is frightening. Hitting on
4s.
Hitting on 4s.
Well, that's good.
That's good, is it?
That looks good to me.
That looks like a lot of hits. Strength, what is
3.
it? 3? I'm not as frightened now.
No.
Wheeling on 5s. 5s?
Yeah.
How many did you get?
That looks like 4 to me. Yeah,
4 wounds. 4 wounds with a 3-up save. And a 6-up feel no pain. 1 dies. Then the 2 seismic cannons fired up at that squad, but because they returned from the shadows, they are snap firing, and they missed. And apart from that squad there, and the heavy seismic cannon there snap firing up at the Storm Raven when that didn't bother to jink, that was it for the shooting phase. Aceface really wants to charge in and punch me. Apparently that's where these cultists shine. So let's move on to the assault phase. In the assault phase, he declared a charge with the Aberrants first, and one of them took a wound to Overwatch. There was a couple more wounds dealt out, but they have feel no pain, these buggers, so they managed to survive it. And then this squad came charging through and have locked up the Ironclad. And the other assault was round here, both the Genestealers and the other unit of Aberrants making it into these Space Marines there. I think those Space Marines are gonna die a brutal, gruesome death. They're surrounded and outnumbered. They don't know what they're fighting against. This should be an easy meal ticket for those Genestealers there. Anyway, let's resolve these assaults. Alright, the Genestealers went through covers and they don't have assault grenades. Round here, they don't have assault grenades either. This chap's just got assault grenades. What is he?
He is the Primus.
The Primus has got assault grenades, so he's going to go at initiative 4. But my Space Marines might have a chance to kill some of these Genestealers first. Highly unlikely, but let's give it a go. Hitting on 4s. That's 2 hits. And your toughness 4, right?
4, yeah.
1 wound with a 5-up and run. I killed a Genestealer. And now I'm going to get wiped out. Okay, so the Primus has got 4 attacks on the charge with hatred.
Yeah.
Hitting on
4s.
Hitting on 4s, okay. You don't need hatred.
Don't need hatred.
Strength.
Strength 4.
Okay. Wounding on 4s. Has he got a power sword or anything?
He's got a bone sword, AP3.
That's it. So 2 wounds with a 6-up save. 6-up for no pain. No, 2 are dead. There's 3 more to get through there. What are you doing next?
So now I'll go with the Genestealers.
Genestealers.
So the Genestealers will be next.
So you've got 4 Genestealers. How many attacks do they have each?
3 attacks each.
On the charge?
On the charge.
So 12 attacks. Do they get hatred from this?
Everything within 12 inches of the Primus.
Really?
Gets it.
Yeah. So okay. So their weapon skill.
Weapon skill 7.
Wow.
Weapon skill.
Okay, so they're hitting on 3s with hatred.
Rerolling these.
Genestealers are quite tasty all of a sudden.
Didn't convert that many more.
And their strength.
Strength 4.
Do they have furious charge or anything?
No.
So strength 4, toughness 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Rending or?
Rending, yeah.
Okay. So 4s to wound and 6s are deaths. So 2 6s there.
Yeah.
1
wound.
I've got 2 guys left, I believe.
Yeah.
With a 6-up feel no pain. No. Oh no, there's another guy left. So there's 1 more wound.
Yeah.
Which I failed with a 6-up feel no pain. They're dead. Everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody's dead. And this is where we ended up at the end of the assault. The Genestealers scrabbling back towards their prize, this central ruin here. And the Primus, it is the Primus, right?
Yeah.
Is retreating back towards the shadows with his aberrants as well.
8 attacks on charge.
Now back over here. 2 whips, 8 attacks on the charge. They've got assault grenades, you're telling me.
Yeah.
So this is initiative high.
Initiative 7.
Weapon skill.
And weapon skill with the banner goes to 5, so hit on 3s.
Nasty. And any hatred or anything like that?
No.
So that's a lot of hits.
A lot of hits.
And
Needing the
strength.
6. So strength 4, but with rending.
Strength 4 rending. Looking for 6s then, yeah. There's 2 6s, that gets you up to strength 10, so you're looking for 5s and 6s on D3. That's a hull point, finally, off the Ironclad. And now you're down to initiative what?
Next ones will be initiative 4. Everything else is at initiative 4.
So can I punch you?
Yeah, go on, punch me.
And make me feel better after losing a whole point. I've got 5 attacks, Ironclad's got 4 plus 1 for 2 combat weapons, and it's hitting on 4s. 1 hit.
Strong start.
1 hit. Wounds on a 2.
Kills.
I did kill something at least. Okay, so one of these guys dead. It's 1 wound on the Ironclad, and now we've got a bunch more attacks coming in, hitting on 3s. And these are all strength 4 rendings as well. So you're looking to 6s. And 2. Okay, 2 more. So again, 5s and 6s. And nothing. Nothing. Is he alive? Oh no, there's a claw. This is a strength 6 rending thing, isn't it? So
yeah.
Hits on 3s. Okay, strength 6.
6 with rending.
Nothing. Really? We didn't expect that result at all. As Aceface has just explained, he's getting the rends through, but he's not getting that extra bit on top just to take him out. It's an Ironclad, and he's earning his name so far. 2 whole points left on him. And that's the end of Aceface's turn. He's spread out. He's all over the place. There's still a bunch of units in the shadows. Still a bunch of units that can come back from the shadows. This Ironclad prevents him from getting hold of the line, but he does get a point for Harness the Warp, and he does get a point for securing Objective 6. So it's 6 points to Cult of Voro and 2 points to the 13th as we go into 13th's turn 3. The 13th are confused. We've never seen this foe before. We need to assassinate, kill characters, which is tough. Supremacy get twice as many objectives as the Genestealer Cult, and currently I control 1, and they control 3. And Witch Hunter. Yeah. Right, here we are after the movement phase for the 13th. The second Talon came on here, but the last pod is staying off. And with Supremacy in mind, I've moved stuff around a lot. The Genestealer Cults controlled that one, and this one, and this one. They've got 3, I've got 1. So if I take that off of them, that's 2 objectives each. And then if the Talon, which is in Beetle mode, hops up and over and sits on top of that one, they'll only have 1. I'll have 2, and that will be Supremacy. That's the plan. These guys have to run forward. I'm just out of 3 inches away from that objective to get this one. And if they run forward, then they're going to get eaten. So this is going to lay fire into them, hopefully wipe them out. The other Talon jumping up and over should be able to lend some fire support in as well. And the scouts are in range with their bolt guns. They could lend some fire support in as well. But if they get murdered, then I could throw them in against the rock grinder instead. So all of that movement there should get me supremacy, but it will sacrifice one of the Storm Talons because Ace has no anti-air. So as soon as it's in VTOL mode, I'm sure these aberrants are going to jump on it and tear it apart, right?
Absolutely.
You're not going to let that take to the skies again. But I need a supremacy at 6 points to 2, 70 points behind. I need a D3, I need some big numbers. And then the Storm Raven all the way across, because the other two cards in my hand are Witch Hunter and Assassinate. And there's a Psyker in there. There's a character in there. So if the Ironclad can hold out for one more turn, or two in fact, because of my assault phase and his assault phase, then I can get out and assault with my command squad, with my Dreadnought, and get Witch Hunter and get Assassinate. But the Ironclad needs to hold them firm, because otherwise they could return to the shadows and I'm stuck in this corner miles away from my objectives. Then the backfield over here, trying to put some shots there as well. That's the plan. I've got lots of planning, lots of thinking, but Genestealer Cults are a conundrum wrapped in a riddle so far. Let's go on to the shooting phase and see if this all works out. Right, here we are at the very end of my turn 3. This thing went flat out, didn't immobilise himself, and this thing shooting down at the aberrants, acolytes. It was a foregone conclusion, wiped them off the map. Hitting on 2s, winning on 2s, no saves, dead. So I've taken that one, I can control that one, and I'm contesting this one. As I said, 2 objectives to 1, so that's supremacy. What I didn't expect was these guys pistoling and grenading the vehicle to blow it up or wreck it, and I have wrecked it, so that stops that zipping around all over the place, stealing some objectives. That's what happened down here. Then over here, these guys are rapid firing and pistol. I wanted to charge the acolytes, neophytes, but killed enough of them to make them run away and fall back round this way, and that puts them far enough away to return to the shadows as well. And then in the shooting phase, the Storm Raven raining fire down in at the aberrants here, only causing a wound with the twin-linked assault cannon, and the rest of the shots either going wild or saves being made. Basically, this whole ruin here is being set on fire by laser fire and bolt rounds, and these aberrants are just walking through it. At the end of the day, I've only killed 1 full unit. Oh no, and the truck as well, killed a couple of units. But it's all about this Ironclad for me. Can he hold on for another turn? Let's move on to the assault phase. So the 2 whips, hitting on 3s. And this is strength 4 rending.
Yep.
There's another 6 there, so that's up to strength 10 plus 1 more hull point gone. So he's on 1 hull point left. Before you punch him and kill him, let's do some attacks back. Last time I only got 1 attack in. Hopefully this time I get more than 1. This time I get 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, killing on 2s. 3 dead Gribblies. Right, these are the remaining attacks from the Genestealer Cult minus Claw. These are all the strength 4 rending. So 3s to hit. And you need 6s. Don't do it, Ace. Don't do it. Oh no, 3 6s. So any 5 or 6 this time round on rending, that's a wrecked Ironclad. And he goes down. He goes down. But I take 3 of you with me, buddy. Right, here we are at the end of the assault phase. Unfortunately, Aceface only rolled a 2 for consolidation to get away from it, which meant he couldn't get more than 6 inches away from that drop pod, which meant he can't return to the shadows, which is interesting because potentially I can get out and charge him next turn. So the Ironclad might have done enough to hold up that unit. I know I'm going to have some aberrants coming in and mullering whatever get out to muller that, but hopefully the shots... It's just a string of bad choices, but that unit is still on the table, that's what I'm saying. The unit's staying there, and I have a chance to jump them and surprise them. Anyway, that's the end of my turn 3. It's 6 points to 2, and I scored D3 points for supremacy. Big money. Big money.
Yes,
Big money. That's 6 points to 5. It's gone to Genestealer Cult's turn 4. Cult Voro's objectives. Take objective 1 twice, which is there, and he can return from the shadows onto it, and hold the line is still in his hand. The Ironclad is gone, but these tactical marines now are trespassing into the Genestealer Cult's lines, so they need to go. Right, in the deployment phase, which seems to be a very special phase that only Genestealer Cult players play, there's some appearing here, some have appeared onto Objective 1, and some are at the back over here. I like this idea of Genestealer Cults. I want to get some. I like this popping up all over the place. It's very difficult to predict where they are going to be, where they're coming from. Still no 6s rolled for Aceface, so there's no assaulting in the turn that he appears from, but it's a very, very interesting mechanic. I like it. So in the movement phase, Aceface is finally moving his big Warlords unit with Genestealers in the... What were you saying about what? I was never going to go anywhere near that unit. Why haven't you moved them for the last 3 turns, 4 turns?
I was just hoping that potentially you would come towards them, but now that everything's over there and you're not going to be moving so much, they need to now come out of there. They need to get involved.
So the idea was, what, a big nasty unit in my back lines that I might want to flush them out. Is that?
Yeah, it's my Warlord in there as well.
Okay.
You're going for it, maybe.
Maybe they were a bit too big and scary to bait me. I think that's why I stayed away from them. I'm quite happy. I was quite happy that they stayed way away from me for turn after turn after turn, to be honest. Right, in this corner, the Standard Bearer and the Magos has broken free from the Acolytes and joined on to the unit of Aberrants. They're independent characters. They're here, and they've got a meat shield of people who popped up from the shadows this turn. The remaining 2 from the squad that killed the Ironclad are here, and they're going to try and kill that pod. So there's actually 3 units down in and amongst this mess. And then he summoned some dudes, and 20 neophytes, 20, has popped up all the way seismic over here with 2 seismic cannons looking at murder, looking at sowing some death. The Genestealers have moved round, going to try and kill them. These Aberrants are going to go and charge that, as predicted. It turns out that catching this Magos will not be as easy as I thought it was. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Honestly, Genestealer Cult is really weird because the deployment and the movement phase is longer than the shooting phase. In the shooting phase, the pure strain ran forward a little bit, and then this squad of 20 that just popped up fragged the first unit of scouts there. As you can see, there's 1 left. I need to do a leadership test, leadership 8, and he's fine. But basically 4 scouts died in the shooting phase. Some Genestealers ran forward. Much more stuff happens in the deployment, the movement, the psychic, the assault phase. Talking about assault phases, let's bring it on. So during Overwatch, 1 Genestealer died, and now the Genestealers get to go first. Initiative
6.
6. Hitting on 3s. And
wounding on 4s with 6s rend. So 1 rend, so 1 dies, and then looks like 4 saves.
4 armour saves. And that's a fail, plus 2 6-up feel no pains then. So 2 of my guys buy it, and then I hit your back. And I hit on 4s, and I wound on 4s. And that doesn't do anything. I lost the combat by 2. My leadership is 8. Well, much less than that. I fail. I fall back. Sweep and advance. 5 plus.
I catch you.
You catch me. We're all locked up, and you murdered 2 of them. And this is the result of this combat. Perfect result for the Genestealers, as they cannot get shot at in my turn. Now we're going on to this assault. Only Snake Eyes will fail here. It doesn't fail. So here we are, the Aberrants trying to bring the Storm Talon down. So they have picks and hammers. Picks are going first. The hammers are unwieldy.
They're both unwieldy, in fact.
Are they?
But we'll do the picks first.
Because you don't want it to go bang. Hitting on 3s.
Re-rolling because of the hatred from the whatever it's called, Primus.
Okay.
So
strength.
And plus 2, so that will be strength 7.
Okay. Versus armour 11. That's 2 penetrating hits.
Depends, yeah.
And you said AP3.
AP3.
That's a wrecked Storm Talon. That was easy. And the Talon gets ripped down out from the sky. No explosion there, no consolidating from vehicles. They made that look easy. I don't like those aberrants. Then at the very bottom of the cult turn, these two chaps here smashed into the pod. It's now stunned. And that's the end of Cult Voro's turn 4. They get 2 points for securing objective 1 twice, which is under here. But they don't get hold the line, which means it's 8 points to 5 in favour of Cult Voro. We're going into turn 4. My last pod is coming in automatically. And there's still a lot of little guys out there. Orders for the 13th. Witch Hunter and Assassinate still in my hand, and secure objective 2, which thankfully I already control. Movement phase over. The last pod came streaking through the sky and ended up there, which is bad. I wanted it. There's objective 4. I wanted it to be on this side of the wall. The guys piling through, that would be objective secured, and pour fire down onto this unit that I want to kill. I want to get a Witch Hunter. I want to get Assassinate. But it corkscrewed wildly through the air and landed over here. So they haven't got line of sight to anyone. But these guys should be able to bring some pain to bear on this unit of Acolytes there. And then I need to pressurize this unit back here, because the Storm Raven is in VTOL mode and they could run round and try and punch it. And Storm Raven's in VTOL mode because everybody's out. Brother Matthias is on the table, the Tech Marine is on the table, and Sol Garrow is back there. Before I can charge through, I need to clear a path. There's 5 Acolytes, I want to say Acolytes, in front. So this Storm Talon firing down at the Acolytes, hitting on 2s. And that's 2 hits, and wounding on 2s, AP4. 2 wounds. You have a 4-up wounds thingy bob. 1 dies. So it begins. Now for the twin linked assault cannon, hitting on 2s, twin linked, and then wounding on 2s. 3 more wounds. And now the Storm Raven will fire down at... I've got to put everything on him, just in case it doesn't work. Yeah, I've got to put everything on him because you've got to declare before you shoot now. I'd like to fire down on him and split the Machine Spirit off of here, but I can't do that. I've got to put everything down on this one guy because I know what my dice rolling's like. So Assault Cannon, hitting on 3s, twin linked, and then wounding on 2s, 4 wounds, and he dies. And the multi-motor, and the multi-motor was firing at him as well. Now he's gone. Now I'm going to line up some flamers, torch these guys. Firing through with Brother Matthias first. I can only hit 3 in this squad. The front 2 are down to 1 wound each anyway. But this is Strength 5 versus Toughness 4, looking at 3s. 2 wounds. They have a Feel No Pain. And 1 gets fragged. Then a twin linked auto cannon, hitting on 3s, twin linked, and wounding on 2s, 1 wound with a 4-up ruin save.
Yep.
And you make it. That's Matthias done, and now the command squad are firing through. The Tech Marine gunner, the Tech Marine, sorry, actually hits 4 of them. But they're toughness 4, and this is a normal flamer, so I wound on 4s. And that's 2 wounds at AP5.
So, Feel No Pains. 1 dies, and then 1 wound on... He automatically looks out Sarah, so we'll just take 1 wound on the next closest aberrant.
Okay. And then I've got a twin-linked plasma cutter. Hits on 2s, twin-linked, and it gets hot. I have a 2-up save. Ha! 3 1s in a row. Oh, and a 6-up Feel No Pain. 4 1s in a row. That Tech Marine takes a wound. He was destined to have that plasma cutter burn out in his hand there. Then we're going to fire some pistols. Lots and lots of pistols. 3s to hit. That's a bit better. And 3s to wound, 4s to wound. 4s to wound, 3 wounds, AP5.
Okay, so automatic looking at Sir. So we've got the 4-up cover. These will be the... 4-up cover, and then this will be Feel No Pain. 1 saves, 1 wound, no, 1 dies. No, we'll put it on that guy because we can
Yeah.
look outside to another guy.
Well, he's the closest guy to him anyway. When you look outside, that's the closest guy.
So, there we go.
Okay, that's good. So let's shoot other stuff around the table and get back to this melee over here. Right, and then in the shooting phase, these squads here poured fire onto the acolytes and killed 3 of them, and they've broken. They're running this way. And then firepower from this squad killed the other squad of acolytes around there. So I've clearing away some targets around the edge of this cauldron of death here, but now we've got some assaults right up the gut. Solgaro, Brother Matthias, down here, need assassinate, need witch hunter. If I get this, I can tie the game. In the assault phase, I need an 8 because they're 6 inches away and I'm going through cover, and I rolled a 7. So I fail the charge. I don't manage to get in there, which means Matthias, the Dreadnought, can't get in there, which means they're still alive. Over here, however, the Genestealers failed to hurt anyone, and I managed to kill one, and they failed morale, and they ran away. I consolidated towards them to stop them returning to the shadows, but that's a small mercy. In the end, I only get 1 point for Objective 2. It's 8 points to the cult, 6 points to the 13th. We're going on to turn 5. Cult Voro's orders are to hold the line and secure Objective 4 and 5. There's 5 and there's 4. All of the objectives are in his deployment zone and hold the line in his deployment zone. The cultists clearly want to hold this back edge of the battlefield before they're pushed off. And then in Genestealer Cult deployment phase, I love it, they've got their own phase. Just a unit returning from the shadows here, a unit of neophytes with some mining lasers. Just outflanking again, no 6s rolled so he can assault, no 5s rolled so he can't shoot on the turn that he appears. Unlucky with those rolls there, Aceface. Then after the deployment phase over here, the Magos has split away and is going down here. I'm sure he's going to try and at least summon some people next to him to try and... Anyway, the Magos is on his own because Aceface needs to take Objective 4, which is in there. And these aberrants have jumped up. They've both got 1 wound each and they can see the pod. They're going to charge the pod. Why are we so worried about the pod? Because that pod is actually within 2.5 inches of Objective 4. So I'm stopping the Genestealer Cult scoring it right now. It's got 2 whole points left. These 2 little guys have been banging against it for turn after turn with their strength 4 rending claws, but not enough. So he needs to send the aberrants in there to take this out to guarantee that point. Remember, there's only 2 points in it really. Over here, the Genestealers have regrouped because of Objective 5. This turned out to be very critical. Ace was not pleased with this. The Genestealers should really have ran them down and guaranteed him Objective 5, but that hasn't happened. Instead, they turn around, they move 3 inches, and you cannot charge. You can't charge when you regroup. The other 2 guys over here are regrouped, moved in, and they can't charge either. They can't run either. This unit of aberrants from there, they could potentially charge in, but that's a long way, and it's -2 to their charge range because they're in terrain. It's probably too far away for them to go this turn, and it's turn 5. It could end at the end of this turn. We're getting very close to the end game now. I didn't think it would ever be this close. And the Primarch, not the Primarch, the what is he?
Patriarch.
The Patriarch, he looks like a Primarch, is finally coming out of the cover he's been hiding in all this game. I don't want to call him a coward, but he's a coward. In the psychic phase, he managed to summon in a unit, and he managed to save his perils result because he summoned in as a warp charge 3. He did perils, 12 inches from him. He gets feel no pain, and this is what popped up on the table. And there are 5 hand flamers in there. That's strength 3 flamers. Every single one of those 5 flamers is covering that. 15 strength 3 auto hits I'm talking about on my tactical squad, trying to burn them away off of Objective 5. Let's see if that works. Okay, 5s to wound. And that looks like a lot of 5s. That was 8 wounds. May the odds be in your favour. 3 up armour save.
They're gone.
They're gone, except I have a 6 up Iron Hands. Feel no pain. Nope, they're gone. That was a beautiful summon and beautiful move, guaranteeing him that point because this is a very, very close game. Right, some more shots in the shooting phase. Some shots coming through, killing some scouts. They held morale. And then round here, some mine and laser shots came in, killed 1 in that squad. Some bolter fire over there, or auto gun fire. Auto pistol fire. Didn't do anything at all. We've got some assaults coming in. Obviously, these aberrants want to kill this pod. I think these ones here want to kill that pod. Genestealers are going to come. There's going to be a lot of assaults going on. Let's resolve some Overwatch and pile in moves. Okay, in the assault phase, these Genestealers finally made their presence felt and ran down that lone scout there. It was an absolute slaughter. Ripped limb from limb. And then round here, the aberrants and the guy with the banner made it into combat round the back and have wrecked that drop pod as well. Just a wreck, which means, because this guy's close enough, which means they score objective 4 and they score objective 5, but do not get hold the line. Oh, and another pod got ripped up here. Basically, the aberrants killed a pod, the aberrants killed a pod, but they get 2 more points, making it 10 points to 6 as we descend into turn 5 for the Genestealer Cult. The 13th are 4 points behind. Need some good orders now. Right, I am 4 points behind. Witch Hunter, Assassinate. Get that. That's 2 points. No prisoners, just kill 1 thing, that's another point. So that's 3 points. But if I kill 3 things, I'll get D3 points. And I'm looking at him. Kill him for Witch Hunter, Assassinate, and no prisoners. That'll make it 9 points to 10. Kill 2 more things. I could get into the lead. In the movement phase, all very simple. VTOL mode switched round. There's Witch Hunter, Assassinate, and a point. This thing in VTOL mode, just 2 Genestealers there. We've got just 2... I want to say acolytes there, and there's a command squad, and Matthias ready to rain fire. Round here, we've got an independent character and 2 aberrants, and they're both on 1 wound each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of 1 or 2 little Genestealer guys. I should be able to get 3 units for D3 for no prisoners. And then if I roll well for no prisoners, I could spring into the lead. It's as close as it comes. Let's move on to the shooting phase. Starting with the main event, this firing at that, hitting on 2s with strafing run, and it's strength 7, AP 4, that's 3 wounds, and he's what? Is he?
Yeah, instant death.
Instant death.
Strength, he's toughness 3.
Nice.
He's a dead.
Okay, so assault cannon now from the Storm Raven down into the Genestealers, hitting on 3s. Oh no. Twin linked. Oh no. 2 hits and wounding on 2s. 2 wounds. AP 4.
Yeah. So he does the invon 5 up invon. They both die.
That's 2 things dead. Brother Matthias will shoot his auto cannon at those guys, hitting on 2s. Twin linked. 3s twin linked. Sorry, and then killing on 2s. Those 2 are dead.
I feel no pain because I'm in range of my guy.
Strength 7.
Strength 7? Oh, yeah, they are well dead.
Okay,
Go
to ground.
No, they're dead.
Now they're dead. And that's 3 units down, but let's kick them while they're down. Rapid fire and bolt guns into the back here, hitting on 3s. That is just painful to look at sometimes. Wounding on 3s, that's only 4 wounds. AP 5, your dude is closest, but he auto look out, sirs.
Yeah, also look out, sirs. Obviously, they feel no pain as well, so we'll do them all. It makes no difference.
Okay. And they're dead.
They're dead.
Because the aberrants are on 1 wound each.
Yeah, he has more than 1 wound, so he's got 2 wounds, so he'll be on 1 wound, I believe. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, so he'll be on 1 wound, and then the aberrants will both take it.
And then I'll fire this unit in, just to kill them off. So 3s to hit, and 3s to wound, 3 more wounds onto him. And there is a flamer there, which wounds on a 3, which wounds die.
No.
And then there is a drop pod.
You shall not pass.
He will die. 1 wound left. Bolt guns. 2 hits from the storm bolter. 3s to wound. 2 wounds. 2 for no pains? Surely not.
No.
Now he's finally dead. And that's pretty much the end of my turn. Round here, one of the scouts killed one of the Genestealers, but there's no way they're charging that mess. And lots of units died, as you saw. I killed 5 units in total, including that dude down there. So that is Witch Hunter. That is Assassinate. And that brings the score 10 points to 8. And that's pretty much the end of my turn. Round here, one of the scouts killed one of the Genestealers, but there's no way they're charging that mess. And lots of units died, as you saw. I killed 5 units in total, including that dude down there. So that is Witch Hunter. That is Assassinate. And that brings the score 10 points to 8. Now I've got Linebreaker, and you've got Linebreaker. If the game ends, it's 10 points to 8 plus D3 for no prisoners.
You got first blood.
And I got first blood. So anyway, D3 for no prisoners. I get a 2, so that means it's 10 points to 10. Okay, it's 10 points to 10. I was including first blood in my score. The Genestealer Cult have Linebreaker. I have a Linebreaker, making it 11 points to 10, and the game ends on a 1-2. And that's what Ace just rolled off camera. 11 points each. The game is a draw, and this is the way the world ends. So it was my first outing against the Genestealer Cult, and I didn't really know what was happening, but I think the trick is when you do lay fire into a unit, make sure you kill it utterly. Make sure you keep moving. Make sure you stay mobile. I think I did all right. There's still an awful lot of Genestealers left on the table as well. Staying away from this big nasty unit as well was a tactic that I wasn't going anywhere near that. How did I do, Ace?
I think you did really well, to be fair. I think you did everything that you could, particularly as you had really horrible cards to start off with. So to be able to kind of grind it back and last couple of turns, even potentially nick it, I think you did well. I really struggled with the flyers because the mobility and able to just lay waste to me was always going to be a struggle, and I'm not sure whether I did the right thing with the Genestealers, kind of hiding them so far out of play. And that's a big expensive unit that was wasted for the whole game.
It was.
So that hurt me quite a lot. But no, I think there wasn't many times that I had an opportunity to go back to the shadows. You did decimate most units.
I think my dice rolling was awful, and my cards were awful, but you didn't roll 1-5 to pop up and shoot when you returned from the shadows. You didn't roll 1-6 when you popped up. So it's a card game, it's a dice game. These things tend to average out, and I think my bad luck averaged out with your bad luck, because you could have got 3 or 4 6s there and popped up and come charging in before I had a chance to do anything, but you didn't get any. And in the end it feels like a draw as well. Looking across the table, it does. Sometimes you just squeak a draw, but in this case that feels about right. Well, Sol Garrow did not get to wet his relic blade in the flesh of a Genestealer cultist this time. Maybe next time. Thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.